Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do a video on Sica, or signature chain. It's a micro cap coin that's available on the Waves platform, Waves Dex, and you can also pick it up on Stex exchange. And I believe it's also available starting yesterday. It went live on Crex 24. So before we get started, I just wanted to, if you guys could give me a thumbs up, give me a follow or subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build it up and figure out if I want to keep doing this or not. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be cool. Give me a follow on Twitter. It's at Frankenshill on Twitter. So let's dive right into it here. This is the signature chain, or Sica website here. Kind of give a quick little breakdown on what it's all about. I initially got into this project pretty early on. It was right around the 2 Latoshi, I think it was, roundabouts. It was before it was listed on Stex, so it was on the Waves Dex. I think it was, my first buy was 35 Watoshis, or Wave Toshis. So that at the time translated to about 2 Latoshi. So I've been in it for a while, and at that point they didn't have a website or a light paper or anything like that. So it was a real big gamble for me, but it's a gamble that has paid off. And once the team started interacting with the community, they released the light paper, and it was pretty solid, and I really like this project because there's not 50 other projects out there on the market that's trying to do what they're doing. So it's pretty unique, a unique use case, and and it solves a problem too. It's disruptive, so there's a need for this type of project. So that's my initial gamble has changed into a long-term hold on this project, because I like what it's about, and I think it's got a future. So let's get into it here, and we'll talk about it and give you guys a rundown on it if you don't know anything about it. Basically, what Sica, or signature chain, is trying to do, it's a document verification project. They're going to deal with certification of documents and contracts, basically eliminating a third party, or they're stepping into the role using the blockchain as the third party mediator between a client and whatever, kind of like a notary almost, in a sense. It's basically certifying documents, so like contracts and NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, diplomas, invoices, concepts, ideas, patent process, like when somebody comes up with an idea, an invention, something like that, they'll help with the patent processing, digital creation for paternity, medical certificates, and more. And from my understanding of being in the Telegram group and a little bit, and checking out in Discord, the team, a lot of them already work in this field for companies who do this type of thing, and so and that's part of, they haven't as far as naming themselves the team members, they've kind of refrained from it because it would cause problems in their current employment situation. So I can understand that. So they're coming into this project with real world experience with this type of thing, only they're trying to apply the blockchain to what they already do. Let's check out their roadmap here. So, another thing I liked about the team, and about the project is they delivered on everything on time, if not early, which is, that's a big thing in this space right now, because there's a lot of delays that happen, and it's good to see the teams working and delivering on their promises. And this quarter, which is coming to an end, because as I shoot this video, it's December 6th, so we're running on the tail end of quarter 4 here. They've already released the light paper and the website, which is, we're checking out the website right now. We'll take a look at the light paper in a minute. But before this month is up, they're going to release the full white paper, and I think they're updating the website too. The test net, I'm pretty sure that they've already got the test net running, and you can check it out. And they've started the development. Of course, they just got listed on Crex yesterday. We're already listed on Stec, so they've hit everything, or about to hit everything, on quarter 4 and on schedule, and that's a big plus for it. In the first quarter of next year, of 2019, they're going to expand the team. They're going to hire more people. And you can go into Discord and Telegram, and there's team members that check in periodically, and talk to the community, get feedback, and they're pretty cool dudes. So it's not like they're unreachable or unapproachable, which is a good thing. So in quarter 2, they're going to platform code audit, private alpha version of platform, alpha testing period, beta testing of the platform in quarter 3, and marketing. And that's another thing about Signature Chain. There's not been massive marketing and massive shilling behind it. There's been 1 or 2 Twitter personalities who have decent followings that have talked about it, but for the most part, it's gone kind of under the radar, and all the growth that it's received has been very organic, which is good, because that means the investors, the people that are buying it, believe in the project. They like what they see, and they're in it for the long term. So the price isn't quite as volatile as some of the other projects, micro cap projects have been recently. Now, let me take that back. It has some volatility, especially on waves, because there's such a large spread between the buys and the sells, So if somebody wanted to sell, we'll take a look at the waves price here in a little bit, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But for the most part, it's been organic growth. It's been steady, and it's looking, yesterday we hit all-time high of, I think it was 46. We'll take a look at that in a little bit after we talk about the basics of the project. So by quarter 4 of next year, they're looking to release the platform. So they're going to be working on it, all next year, with the hopes of releasing the platform by the end of the year next year, which their track record thus far is they've exceeded expectations on releasing things. So they're going to integrate other languages into the interface in Q1 of 2020. Q2, they're going to release apps, to make this easier to use on the go. So, see the team. Like I said, they're pretty right now. They're kind of they're trying to remain anonymous because of their current jobs. They would probably lose their jobs if the companies they work for found out that they were creating, this project that would be direct competition with what they do now. So, if I'm not mistaken, they're in the process of doing the KYD, the private aspect of it. So they're releasing, which that means they release their names and their information to the KYD, and the KYD tells us basically, yeah, they're legitimate people. We just can't tell you who they are right now, and which I'm all right with, because they've done a good job of communicating with the. I'm confident that they're not scamming us. So let's talk about the tokens. Now, they recently did a coin burn, which brought the supply down to 36 billion is the max supply, which there was a early investor that had, I think it was over almost 4 billion, and he lost his wallet seed on the Waves DEX. And so those, basically there's a little less than 4 billion of the max supply that's just lost forever. I mean, it'll still be counted in the supply, but it's gone. Well, I guess it would be part of the circulating supply, so it's gone. But they've done some cool airdrop stuff to kind of get the community active. Go in, comment on Reddit posts, or set up a Bitcoin talk thing and comment. They just had a contest on YouTube videos that they did airdrop to the winners. I think it was the top 3 or something for that. But so they've allocated 2.78% for that type of thing, airdrops. The team share is 13.89%. Development is 15.28%. Marketing is 15.28% too, which has not really gotten, like I was saying earlier, it hasn't kicked in real good yet. I'm not sure what their plans are for marketing. And then 52% is in exchange distribution. So when they first started Sica, they put tokens on the market for purchase, to help them get started. So, and then that's a percentage breakdown of the supply, and then we got the actual numbers over here. But let's go up here and take a look at the light paper, which, like I was saying, they will be releasing the full white paper this month. Is coming soon, so I guess we gotta download it here. And I remember when they first came out with this, I was thinking, this thing looks pretty slick. It's not generic looking. They had good graphics with it, and just that the contrast of the black on pink is pretty sweet. But so it's their primary goal, Signature Chain's primary goal, is to develop a platform allowing the certification of documents, and will serve to use to different types of documents. So this gives a little rundown about blockchain and stuff. So the current document certification and validation methods are dependent on a third party and consume too much time. The way that organizations facilitate the process of documents has not changed for over 20 years. So basically, it's manual. People got to look over stuff and make changes due to regulations and all that stuff. So basically, it's slow. You depend on a human to do that type of stuff, and we don't work as fast as a blockchain does. So the solution to that problem, which is this is good how they've laid it out, identifying a problem and then they're offering the solution to the problem. So many things on the blockchain I feel like aren't necessary. I mean, not everything that we do in our day-to-day lives needs to be on the blockchain, but this is a nice use case for blockchain here. That's why I like this project so much. So this is an example of what it would be like to use the platform to sign a contract. You would bring in, drag and drop the document here to certify, and then you can put a message with it and send it out and sign it electronically. But yeah, I mean, we won't go through all of this. I encourage you to check this stuff out on your own if you like what you've seen here and you're thinking about investing in this project. It's built on the Waves blockchain, and they're happy with how the Waves blockchain works, and they currently have no intentions of moving off of the Waves blockchain, which is kind of not the way things are going right now. A lot of these Waves tokens, they start out on Waves because it's easy to do, to set up a Waves token, but they're starting to move off of it. They're swapping to Ethereum blockchain or they're creating their own. But Waves is happy with how it works, and they're going to stay. And the only drawback I see to that is it's the amount of exchanges they can get listed on, because not all exchanges support Waves tokens. So, but that could change in the future, and we'll see what happens. But for now, they're happy with the Waves blockchain. They're going to stay there, and if that's what works for the project, then good. I encourage them to do whatever is best for the project, and that's what they feel. And so anyways, let's go on back here and check out. We'll go to their Twitter page, I think. Check it out. Then we'll take a look at the order books and stuff on Stacks and Waves decks. So this is their Twitter page. I would highly recommend, if you don't have a Twitter, to get signed up for Twitter, because that's where you're going to catch all the news. Everybody tweets news nowadays in crypto. Also join the Telegram, which they have a link here on their Twitter page to the Telegram, and of course to their website. So this is there's a thing I wanted to. They released basically an agenda for the month of December, because here's where they announced they listed on Crex24 yesterday, but they they released a. This is about they had burned 14 billion, so it was their max supply was 50 billion, but now it's down to 36 billion. Their agenda for December. There's a lot going on for December. And of course, they've the things that they've said they were going to do, they've done so far. Like here, they've got they changed the logo, a little bit of a rebrand on the logo and stuff, and the website. That was the light site, what we were looking at, just kind of an initial website, but the official website is going to be released this month. Here's the roadmap for December. So the full white paper, the token burn already happened. I believe the videos come out. Crex 24 listing has happened, and now they're going to be able to list on CoinMarketCap, because CoinMarketCap doesn't consider Waves DEX in their application process. So you have to be listed on 2 exchanges to get listed on CoinMarketCap, and they don't consider Waves DEX in that too. So now they have Stex and Crex 24 as their exchanges, and then of course Waves DEX. But so now they're eligible to get listed on CoinMarketCap, so that should be coming before the month's out. The new positions in the public team, and they're, like I said earlier, they're in the process of Know Your Developer application. So yeah, and they've, up until this point, they've had no delays on any of their promises. So I have full faith that all of what they say they're going to get done in December will get done. And it's a cool project. Now let's go over here and look at the exchange, see how it's doing on Stex. We can get it to load up here. Okay, so I think 44 was the all-time high that we hit, because back here we hit 42, I think it was, or 43. So yeah, yesterday we hit all-time high of 44, which is good. We're hitting higher highs and higher lows. We catch some wicks down here, but it's been nice organic growth. Take a look at I'm not, as far as charting goes on these micro caps, it's so hard that, to do, because one person can manipulate, one person can dump into a buy, order book and just bring the price down significantly. So charting is kind of hard to do for these micro caps, and at the same return, somebody can FOMO into a sell order book and, make the thing run crazy high. So right now we're looking at, last night we had a big buy order for 100 Litecoins worth at 39, which somebody dumped into the buy orders and ate all that up, I believe, or it got removed. One, I'd have to check the history, but it's got good support, and people just aren't selling. They're buying it and they're holding it because they believe in the project, long term, and it won't be long till we're trading in sats. I think around 120 or maybe a little bit more, 124 Litoshis is a sat. So we're pretty, it's a thin order book, with the exception, we got 71 that could get chipped away over a day. You know, I've seen it happen before. 71 Litecoin sell at 40. It could also be a fake wall. You know, as soon as we touch 39, whoever's got, you know, the large chunk of that 71 could move it. You know, I'm not sure if it's all one person. It's probably maybe not. But you know, it's not. If you're looking at all these numbers right here, there's not many, you know, large sell orders. You know, you got some 20s. There's a 35, a 29, and that 71. But there, it's thin. You know, at 89, we got a 32 Litecoin sell order. 68 and 50 at 97 and 100. You know, 45 at 110. But see, when this thing starts running, taking off, people tend to take down their sell orders a lot. You know, I've watched it happen on these micro cap coins, and it could fly. You know, chances are the way things have been going with it, it'll be a slow. You know, it's not going to happen all in one day. I think by the end of December, we're close. If we're not at a sat, I wouldn't be surprised if we're in the high 90s, low 100s. You know, knocking on a sat. And one thing I like about what they've decided they're going to do, once we get to the sat range, they're not going to disable the Litecoin market. You know, they're going to keep it open, and that helps, you know, with the organic fluctuations that happen. You know, it's not going to be stuck at one sat. You know, people are going to panic when it, you know, gets to one sat and they got nowhere else to go. You know, if it doesn't go up, then everybody's stuck at one. With Sica, they're gonna keep this open and add the sat market once we get to that point naturally. You know, and I think that's cool because that keeps the fluctuations in there, keeps it natural. You know, everybody's not forced to start, you know, at one sat and get stuck. So that's a pretty cool aspect of it. We'll take a look at waves here and see what the order books look like in waves. So we're sitting at 880, it looks like, wave Toshis right now. So I'm covering up the order book here. See what I was talking about, that difference on the waves exchange between the buy and the sells. You know, if somebody, you know, has found something else they want to invest in, you know, and they want to dump some of their Sica into the buy orders instead of placing sell orders because they're FOMOing or whatever, you know, it's right now the current ask is 770 wave Toshis and the current buy is 412. So that's a good little, you know, the spread is 46%. And so, and they get bots in here that are selling 1 and 2, you know, tokens at a time. So if you have it on your Delta, which is available on Delta, I don't really use Blockfolio, I use Delta, and I'll get notifications that says, you know, Sica's down 45%, and it's because some bot has sold one, or a very bored person or something has sold 1 or 10 tokens at 412, and then it'll turn around and I'll get a notification that says, you know, signature chain is up 45% because somebody's bought 1 or 10 at 770. But I think, you know, right now you could, you know, you don't need to market buy. Place some buy orders. 485 is not a whole lot, so you know you could put 100's not a lot either. 3 million's a little bit, you know, it's not a lot, but it's more than that. So you know you could stagger some buy orders at 411, 410. I'd slide one in here at 409 or 408, and chances are they'll probably get filled in the next couple of days, unless, you know, it's possible that they release the new website or the white paper, you know, and that causes a run up. But I think you might have a chance to get something filled. Maybe not quite set it at 400. Maybe set something at 500 or so, and get it filled. You know, I'd go back and revisit it the next day and think about it. You know, if it's gone up, you know, overnight up here into, you know, breaking into the 900s or, you know, the 1,000 wave Toshi's mark, then maybe you might want to consider moving your buy order up. But I mean, then again, you know, I've been buying. I got purchases on Sica from 35 wave Toshis all the way up to 1,000. You know, with the waves going on the run the last couple days that it did, you know, the 1,000 now is worth a lot more than it was, you know, a few days or a week ago, compared to the Litecoin market. You know, when it hit the all-time high before up here at 43, somewhere around in here, I bought at 35. You know, and it dipped down to into the 20s. I think we had some wicks here that hit at 20. I think somebody dumped a large bag this day. That wick went all the way down to 10. You know, gosh, I wish I had some lottery buy orders at below 15 that day, but you know, whatever. I knew even when it dipped down and held in the 25 range, you know, for a few days, it didn't bother me, you know, that buy at 35, because I think this project is going places, and it's gonna, you know, be trading in the SAT market before long, you know. So if it hits 140, it does like a rep me RPM run, you know, it'll be well over 100, you know, and those buys at 30 and 35 are going to be 4x and 5x in no time. So anyways, that's my take on Sica and why I like the project so much and why I'm invested in it. And you know, I appreciate you guys checking this video out. Like I said, give me a thumbs up and give me a follow on Twitter at Frankenshill, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to keep making videos about these micro caps because I'm making a lot of money off of them. You know, I think if you go in and do your own research and check out some of these projects, that, you know, maybe you'll have the luck that I did. Not that this is financial advice, but do your own research and whatnot. I will see you guys later.